Today's toy spot is on the Mattel DC Universe Wave 17 Anti-Monitor Wave. We're looking today at figure 4, Indigo Lantern The Atom. Indigo Lantern The Atom. I don't know why that had to sound so so jarring, but it does come with the other arm of Anti-Monitor. This comes to us from Wave 17. This comes to us from Mattel, and this also comes to us from my friend, who I think, excluding the Atom here, which I picked up myself. I happened to find. I think I found of all places at Winners, but I think the majority of the Wave my friend picked up for me. He knows who he is, if he's watching. He sees me regularly, so I don't know if he really actually watches my videos because he probably gets tired of hearing me already in person. But if he is watching, thank you, sir, for picking these up for me. The only one, though, he didn't pick up was the Atom, and I happened to find that while browsing, I think, Winners. I think it was Winners locally. I also want to just mention that the Indigo Core logo is probably the most boring of all the logos. I just don't feel it. I don't feel it inside. You know, sometimes you just get a feeling. Sometimes if you're with if you're dating a girl and you go out on a date and you just know right away, you're like, why am I even bothering? This is not clearly going anywhere. How long do I have to suffer through this? That's kind of like what the logo is to me. Indigo Lantern logo is like a bad first date. How's that for an analogy? On the back of the package, we have a picture of the Indigo Lantern Atom up at the top there. The read-up biography says, one of the most brilliant men on Earth, Professor Ray Palmer became the Atom after creating a belt that allows him to shrink to microscopic size. After his best friends Hawkman and Hawkgirl were murdered and transformed into Black Lanterns, Ray was granted an indigo power ring to assist in defeating the Lord of the Dead, Nekron. Which also, I believe the Lord of the Dead was also the Tall Man from Phantasm movies. I don't really know who has the rights to that particular name, whether it is Nekron or the Tall Man. But abilities, I would say, factored in. I think Nekron might have this one. It's just a thought that I have. First appearance as Indigo Lantern. Blackest Night, number 6, February 2010. Real name, Ray Palmer. Occupation, physics professor. Base of operations, Ivy University. Special abilities, genius intellect, and the ability to change size. Indigo Lantern power ring and staff channel the powers of the different Lantern core. You can also pick up all 6 figures, 7 if you want to count the variant of Hal Jordan, which is the White Lantern. You can pick up all 6, though, and build the very impressive Anti-Monitor, which Spot is very much looking forward to. It also looks like in the picture that Anti-Monitor is not sporting his cape, which was also something that I considered doing. I don't know. I might take the cape off. I just might leave it on. I really don't know yet. But that would be packaging. I'm going to take a bit of a break, of course, as I always do. And when we get back, we're going to have a better look at Indigo Lantern Atom. There's more to come, guys. Stay tuned. And we'll first grab the piece. I almost dropped it. We'll grab the piece that comes with the Atom here. And that would be the other arm to Anti-Monitor. We'll bring in the torso. Oh, geez. I hope this is going to go better than it did the last time. Last time was just an absolute train wreck. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to take this arm, and we're going to put it into this socket here. Can you see it? It's right there. It's right there. It should be so easy to do. We'll take the peg, plug it into place, and fingers crossed, Spot actually gets this in right away. Doesn't also help. Hey, there we go. I was going to say it doesn't also help that this upper rubbery kind of shoulder area gets in the way as well. I think that's kind of asking. I think that's just creating more problems for me as well. But we don't have to really discuss too much more of it further because I did manage to get it in. There it is. No head though, no underoos, and no legs. But so far, so good. We'll just move that out of the way. Let's have a look at Atom. And as you can see, I've got Adam already holding his staff. His staff sits fairly easily into his arm, into his hand. Just slide it into place. It doesn't sit very tightly. I mean, it is loose, but all things considered, I would rather something where I can just easily put it in, slide it in, than something I really have to force. You can take that any which way you want. As well, even though he doesn't have a battery, he does have a ring. It's right there. Right there. Nice and blue. And it's also sculpted, which is nice. It's not just a blob of paint. Speaking of blobs of paint, I don't see any blobs of paint on this particular figure. This figure is really done well. We've got the nice blue in his cloth here. We've got this nice vibrant red. And I think vibrant red mixed with kind of these Buccaneer style boots. We got the little white trim going around the tops there. I think this makes for a really well painted figure. We also zoom in. We've got this nice gold. There's actually several colors going on in there. We got this nice gold Atom belt. And then down at the side we've got these nice silver kind of beaded decorations going on there as well. And of course we can't omit the one main point about this figure is this really nice tribal paint that they've put on the bodies, or actually on this particular body. Really done nicely. I don't know if you can even make it out, but aside from the flesh color, you'll see that there is also some airbrushing that they've put around the joints, as you can see around the tricep, the bicep area, just to kind of bring out some of the details, and I think it has worked really, really well in Adam's case here. He's also got this really nice metallic shoulder, kind of shoulder plate, shoulder pad going on there. Can't, of course, overlook his face. His face isn't too bad, really. Yeah, all things considered, it's a pretty good figure. You know, I would really hate to admit this, but if it really wasn't for the fact that I was building Anti-Monitor, if I was going out and I was just picking these figure ups solely on what I was seeing them in package, I probably would have passed on Atom altogether. Just really wasn't a figure I was interested in, at least out of this wave. But I have to say, now that I've got him out of package, he does not disappoint. He does not disappoint. We'll just take his staff out of his hand for a second. In the way of Atom's articulation, he has a ball-jointed head. He has your standard pin and socket shoulder, which will allow the arms to rotate back and forth, in and out. A rotation in the bicep, of course your standard bend in the elbow, rotation in the hand, or the wrist. He has an upper torso bend. Now, it seems a little stiff on this figure, which is really fine with me. He would normally have a rotation in the waist, and I can't seem to get the waist to move. It could likely be because this belt piece has been added. Maybe they've just removed the swivel in the waist. It's possible. But he does have the legs bend out, back and forth, a rotation in the thigh, a bend at the knee, and also, did you hear that? I just loosened the joint there. There's a nice tight joint going on in the ankle, which is also something I want to point out too. So far, 3 figures into these reviews, all the joints on these figures have been super tight. I really like that. There's nothing worse than getting a figure brand new out of package and you've got loose joints. So all things considered, I was going to say Flash, I think Atom actually stacks up to be a relatively good figure. I don't say necessarily overlook this guy if you see him sitting in your toy stores. Perhaps, obviously, you're collecting the pieces like Spot has. But if you're just looking for a fun little figure to pick up that's pretty good painted, pretty solidly detailed, I would say definitely pick up. I would definitely pick up the Indigo Atom here. And also, by the way, if you guys were wondering, Spot, what are you going to give a rating to this guy? I think I would probably give Indigo Lantern Atom, I'm going to give him a 6.5. I'm not going to necessarily give him a high. I mean, he is painted nicely and all, but I don't know if he's still a figure He's not my top 3, but I think he definitely has impressed me more than I thought he was going to. So, if you think that he's worth a little higher, let me know down below. If you think he's a little less than that, do definitely let me know as well. But today's Toy Spot, we're having a look, though, at a pretty decent figure. We were looking today at Indigo Lantern The Atom. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to stick around. There is more DC Universe Wave 17 figures to come. I know, you're excited. I'm excited to bring them to you. But thanks for watching as you always do, guys. I'll see you guys next time.